The year 2025 is coming to an end, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I have rarely experienced a year that felt so short and yet so heavy at the same time. For me personally, it was one thing above all, a year of complete loss of control. Everything that had previously made my work for horses and animals possible collapsed from one moment to the next at the end of last year, without warning, without notice. Book sales stopped overnight, and all live events, which had always been filled with a wonderful community, joy and making a difference, had to be cancelled. Not because interest was lacking, but because everyday life had simply become too expensive. Despite this, I tried to help as many animals and people as I possibly could this year as well. But it truly wasn't easy. At this point, I would like to once again express my heartfelt thanks to everyone who donated to the wildlife sanctuary here in South Africa. These were not large amounts, but together they allowed us to strengthen the anti-poaching patrols, and with remarkable success. The animals are calm and relaxed again, and we have not found any more injured animals. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, also in the name of the animals that live here. For me, this showed once again how powerful even seemingly small actions can be. Another example that deeply stayed with me was an evening a few weeks ago in Germany, spent with a group of young girls from rather difficult backgrounds who ride horses. They had been invited to dinner by Patrick Junge, who is the owner of the restaurant chain Peter Pane, and I was allowed to join them. We talked about their favorite horses, the love for horses in general, and riding, of course. And the joy and gratitude that this evening created are still very present with me. Moments like these, simple actions that create so much good, moments of real life, empathy and genuine care, stand in strong contrast to much of what is currently happening in the world. Computers, namely AI, are flooding us with fake accounts, images, and even books written by so-called authors using ChatGPT, at a time when it has already become difficult enough to distinguish truth from deception. This growing distance from real life, the increasing loneliness, and the entirely new level of uncertainty that arises from it all is, in my view, one of the greatest dangers of our time. Not to mention wars, political irresponsibility, and financial insecurity. Perhaps it is no coincidence that we are also seeing this alienation more and more in how we treat horses, animals in general, and nature itself. When personal convenience, greed, or pure egoism become more important than compassion, responsibility, and, yes, a certain level of discipline, meaning the willingness to work on ourselves, then we lose something very essential. Animals adapt to almost everything, even to the abuse inflicted by humans. Nature cannot defend itself. The oceans cannot stop us from dumping our waste into them. Forests cannot run away from deforestation, drought, or acid rain. That is precisely where our responsibility lies. And yet, more and more people seem to ignore this responsibility instead of facing its urgency. To me, this became especially clear this year. In short, it was a year many of us will gladly leave behind. The question, of course, is, will 2026 automatically be better just because it carries a new number? Unlikely. But that doesn't really matter, because we cannot control what politicians decide, how AI will develop, or what will happen to the world. But we can control how we personally and internally deal with it. Life with animals offers a few lessons that could help here. First, stay calm. Panic has never helped. Calmness, on the other hand, very much has. Second, don't make assumptions. We are usually wrong when we do. Third, don't react to everything immediately. Take a moment, think, and then maybe respond. But a response is something entirely different than a reaction. Never lose faith in the good. Each and every one of us makes a difference every single day, simply by being on this planet. And it is for us to decide whether we want this difference to be positive or negative. Believe in love, even when you feel it is not being returned. Act with love. Above all, that means acting responsibly. And never lose hope, Bernard Williams once said, "There was never a night or a problem that could defeat sunrise or hope." I would add, and most certainly not love. With that, I wish you all a peaceful 2026, filled with love and hope. My greatest personal wish would be to see all of you live again someday. This sense of community, of standing together for animals and for what is right and good, is something so truly special. But if it doesn't happen just yet, that is okay too, because one day it will. Don't let yourself be unsettled. Stay true to who you are, and above all, stay calm. All the best for the new year.